Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the streets, progressive liberal left loons are at large. Good afternoon and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Afternoon Drive here on YouTube. Yours truly, Pastor Marty, with yet another update that it is truly the left we have to fear when it comes to public safety, mass shootings, riots, and basically just inciting people into rage and outrage. Despite the media's best efforts to keep trying to portray this, that it's the right we have to fear, and they're the gun hoarders and the gun toters and the gun shooters. Well, let's break this down. In Canton, Ohio, the shooter was a Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren supporter who wanted to take out the, quote, capitalists. Okay, that's not a member of the right. The shooter in Texas, and I said it on Saturday when I made my initial video on YouTube, that I was hesitant to say anything because we hadn't yet seen his so-called manifesto. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, they moved very quickly at the behest of the FBI to remove all of his social media platforms so that he couldn't continue to poison people's minds. And I said then that's a red flag. And the ones that only had access to what he had said, written, or posted was CNN. And they were spoon-feeding it to the masses. I said then, that's a setup. There's information they don't want us to know. And it has now come out that this person that did the shooting in Texas, yes, he hates immigrants. Why does he hate immigrants? Because he's a Trump supporter? No. He hates immigrants because he believes immigrants, in particular those from third world South American countries, are polluters. They're killing and destroying the planet. He's a nut from the green agenda. Also, what the liberals don't want to hear when it comes to these mass shootings is we do live in a fallen, depraved society. And fallen, depraved individuals do fallen, depraved actions, no matter what Congress may legislate. And proof in point that gun control would be completely ineffective to stop this. The cities that have the strictest gun laws in the country: Los Angeles, New York, Baltimore, and Chicago, have the worst violent crime rates in the nation. But wait a minute. People don't have access to firearms. We were told all through the 70s and 80s, handguns have got to go. Then it was assault rifles that got to go. You know it's coming. Your little .22 single shot that you used as a kid, you know, to maybe shoot a squirrel with your dad out squirrel hunting, or the shotgun that you use for... They want them all. But as these liberals continue, as they march forward... Wasn't it Mad Maxine Waters that wanted to incite people into absolutely getting in the faces and even inflicting physical harm, if necessary, to conservatives?
What's happening in America? Civility out, shaming and shunning in. On the same weekend, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders is asked to leave a restaurant. Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters says don't let the public shaming stop with Sanders.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
The Congresswoman pushing more division in a nation already seemingly divided.
Shame! 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 Shame!
Protesters yelling shame at DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen at a Mexican restaurant.
Vote you out! Vote you out! Vote you out!
For the babies!
Vote you out! Vote you out!
Yeah!
Vote you out! Vote you you out! Vote you out! Vote you out! What are you doing to get the babies back?
Yeah, we know where you live, too, Mitch. We know where you live. Yeah! We know where you live, Mitch.
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE!
We did good, fellow citizens.
But Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them. That's what this new Democratic Party is about.
Then, of course, we have the brother of presidential candidate Juan Castro, his brother Julian, or Waukegan, or however it is that you pronounce his name. Why, he goes ahead and he releases the names of all of the Trump supporters in the El Paso area, because after all, their contributions obviously not only helped elect Donald Trump, it contributed to the mass shooting in El Paso. And he's getting backlash now, even from Democrats, because some of the donors on that list are also Democratic donors. They donate to both sides of the fence. They got to do business. President Trump explained all that in 2016 when they tried to point out, you're not really a Republican, you gave to Democrats. He said, I gave to everybody. Because when one of these guys gets elected, I'm going to need a favor. I'm going to need him to do something for me. So it's a business investment to make sure I give to all of them. And that's what some of these people on this Trump donor list that they're trying to shame and boycott and rile people up are now in fear of their lives. And some of them are Democrats. And these unhinged, liberal, progressive, left loons gathered outside the home of Mitch McConnell. And of course, the initial footage you see on the news are just some people standing there holding signs, dragging a snow shovel across the sidewalk, just kind of being a little bit of a nuisance, but it was peaceful. It was peaceful. And then this little piece of video footage off of one of the protesters' own Facebook pages. Her name is Charlene Helm. She is the area representative in Kentucky for Black Lives Matter. This is what she had to say outside the home of Mitch McConnell.
Murder turtle! Murder turtle! Mitch, we know you're home! You, your wife, everything you stand for.
Hopefully somebody out there with some voodoo dolls in these.
Yeah, somebody is. That's probably what it is. Just stab the in the heart, please.
Yeah, real peaceful, isn't it? Real tolerant, real accepting of diversity of thought and diversity of expression. Stab him? Break his neck? The amazing thing is Mitch McConnell's campaign called Team Mitchell released a clip of that on his Twitter account, and they've now been frozen out of Twitter. They can't get onto their own Twitter page until they agree to take the video down, because the video is a violation of their community standards. Wait. Hold it. Juan Castro releases names and addresses of Trump donors on Twitter. He hasn't been removed. You think some of these people that had their identities and their addresses outed are receiving, shall we say, threats? Sure they are. Doesn't that violate Twitter standards? Apparently not. Apparently not. I mean, after all, there is a hashtag that is carried on Twitter that has been allowed to trend called hashtag Massacre Mitch. But Mitch McConnell's team posts a clip of the video where Charlene says, let's stab the mother effer and get it over, break his scrawny neck. And he can't post that. He has to take it down, or they'll deny him access to his own page. Wow. Wow. And yet, we have members of Google and Twitter and Facebook telling Capitol Hill that what they're trying to do is rid the world of hate speech. And apparently, their definition of hate speech is anyone who's white, conservative, traditional values, and strike 4 is you're a Christian. And the hatred that is directed against conservatives by liberals is palatable. It's palatable. Now, we know what the polling is revealing, that Trump's numbers are going up, that he's actually doing very well. He's on good, solid ground. The libloons just become more and more unhinged, and they have now caused even the remaining few sane Democrats out there that they understand in this election cycle, if they want to get anywhere, they got to be a libloon too. So they're now literally afraid of the progressive left that they helped birth. They created the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes. They created these revolutionary squad Islamo women that are now walking the halls of Congress. And they're demanding not only action, they're demanding blood. This is why we've got protests in the streets and cities being burned and police cars being burned. It isn't conservatives out there doing that. It's liberals. And so the gun violence and the mass shooting, these aren't conservatives. These are liberals. The Texas shooter, he's a Green Deal kind of guy, wants to save the planet and hates corporations and capitalism. Lives in his head. Only social interaction he ever had was on social media, and then he only had a dozen followers. But yet we were told for 72 hours of a news cycle, Trump, 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 gun control, gun control, gun control, Trump, 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 Trump-type supporters, the NRA, the conservative right, these gun-toting lunatics. No, turns out it's the liberals that are toting the guns. Why, they've even got a movie out now. Good liberals out there gun hunting Trump people. It's an actual movie. The trailer's out on YouTube. Amazing how YouTube hasn't taken that down in a violation of community standards. So the real violence, the real anarchy, the real unhinged rage and riotous behavior is coming from the left. And when Donald Trump wins re-election, the streets of our major cities are going to be absolute war zones. Not because of Trump supporters. Trump supporters would do well, go to the polls, vote, and go home. It's going to be like that movie series, The Purge. These libloons are going to go absolutely out of their collective freaking minds. Well, they're already out of their minds. But now they're becoming out of their mind dangerous. Dangerous to the health and well-being of Americans. These are the people with the mental issues that need to be rounded up and placed in detention centers where they can be protected from themselves and the rest of us. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that really with sarcasm. I'm serious. There's a teaching in the Word of God. Let not your good be evil spoken of. That one of the signs of the last days, good will be called evil, evil will be called good. Baby, we're there. the abnormal is being called normal. We're told with a straight face that we're supposed to believe there's 32 genders. We have to respect a guy wanting to be referred to as him, her. We're spoon-fed constantly this abhorrent social agenda, this abnormal, deviant behavior. We're supposed to let drag queens read to our 4-year-old toddlers at public libraries. We're supposed to accept all of this, condone all of this, promote all of this, or we're the ones called evil, intolerant, bigot, racist. This is where we're at. And you better understand how important this election coming up is really going to be. And get ready. Get ready. Because the left is going to go not just bat crap crazy insane. They're going to go civil war insane. They're the danger. They're the threat. They're the mental incompetents who should not be allowed to purchase firearms. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you help us get the word out, please, and thank you. Share this on other social media platforms, other YouTube pages that you go to, and get the word out that we're here, what we're doing. I thank you for that. Our subscriptions are beginning to climb again. YouTube has been called out too many times for messing with the algorithm. That doesn't mean they won't do it right after this video posts. But please, thank you for your help. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel, give us a thumbs up and a like, and make sure you smack the bell for my next rant.